You always hear people say, don't let anybody move into your home. But nobody ever talks about how letting people move in your home, how it affects the kids.
My parents' room was in their
my
bedroom.
parents did this to us when we was young. I was 10, my sister was 7, and my brother was about 4. And they had a 3-bedroom house. And we used to play with the people's kids across the street from my mom's house. When we were growing up, I would play with them. And they were around our age. But she had older sons too. They were grown. And anyway, her husband left her. And she came over to my parents' house. And her and my mother were friends. And we was friends with their kids. I'm a 70s baby, so we played out there. We played outside. We didn't have video games. We played outside until the street lights came on. And you know what them street lights meant? You come back in the house. So, I've always been an entrepreneurial type of person. I used to have a lemonade stand by the age of 7. And I would make lemonade, set up my little table and in the front yard and be lemonade. Anyway, the lady's husband across the street left her, and they moved in our house with us. My mama allowed that. And it was the worst 2 years of my life. Because our home was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. My parents had their room. Me and my sister shared a room. We both had day beds, one on each side. And my little younger brother had his room. And he was 4 years old. So, my mother's great idea was to let my brother come in our room. My brother slept with me and my sister, alternating between the two of us. Eventually, she got him like a little mattress or whatever that he was sleeping on. And my mother let this lady move in to the room, my brother's room, with her children. They moved in like that room was their apartment. And it was horrible for us as children. It got horrible. At first, I felt like it was a slumber party. Because her kids, Jocelyn, and, I forget the other kid's name, but Jocelyn was my age at the time. And I felt like I was having a slumber party with my best friend ever. Everything is great when you're a kid until it ain't. Having a 1-bedroom, one bathroom, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house was hell with all them people. It was the lady Joyce, her kids Jocelyn, forget the other kid's name. Chris was one of their names. It wasn't their fault. But it was hell for me and my sister. Because we had to share the bathroom. And I wanted to take a bath. And just be in there and just do my thing at 10 years old, Getting myself together for school. And it was the lady was there, and she had her 2 sons and 2 daughters that were around our age. So it was 4 extra kids sleeping in there in my brother's room. They shared the top bunk. The 2 boys slept in the same top bunk, one at one end, one at the other end. And the bunk bed, the mother, I don't know how she managed, but she and her 2 daughters slept on that. They basically made that room like their apartment. And it was just hell trying to get ready for school in the morning to go to school. I remember feeling like I looked so raggedy at 10 years old. I felt so raggedy. Like, I didn't have enough time. I didn't have enough time to get my hair together, to get my clothes together. Because Like, say you go in the bathroom and you're going to brush your teeth and you're going to style your hair, whatever you're going to do. I'm 10 years old, mind you. I come out of that bathroom. Ooh, I forgot my socks. Ooh, I forgot my training bra. Run out of the bathroom to go get something, and the door slammed. Somebody else is in there. One of her children, or her. Somebody else is in that bathroom. And it almost felt like I could never get myself together properly because these people were in my mom's house like this. I didn't even feel like it was our home. So basically, I had my lemonade stand, and me and my friend used to do our lemonade stand together, and we would, do it for a couple of hours, and then at the end of it, we would split the profits. But when she moved in with us, she was hating so hard that her mother got her another table in my front yard. I'm a little girl in my front yard. She put her table on the other end of the yard, in the front yard. So we had 2 lemonade stands, and we just out there, lemonade, lemonade, and she yelling, lemonade, competing with my lemonade stand in my own front yard. I had to stop doing that because they were living there. It was crazy. I made a little coin though for a 10-year-old making $25 from people stopping by in the neighborhood to get some lemonade that I made. That was a good little business that I had as a child. It was very lucrative for what I wanted it to do, but not when my mom let them come and stay with us. It was more fun when she was across the street bringing her Kool-Aid packets over, and we're mixing up the stuff with our water and stuff, making lemonade. And but once they moved in, things changed. I noticed, because I wasn't in grown folks' business back then. You only see things through the eyes of a child when I was one, but my memory is so fond of this, of the beginning. It felt like we was going to have fun, but did we get deceived? Because that lady, according to my mother, because I would overhear them talking. And my parents would be like, she haven't gave us nothing. She ain't paid us nothing. They didn't pay my mom nothing. And it was so funky because she would come in and go in that room and slam the door. And her kids, she'd be like, come on in here, y'all. And they closed the door because the animosity was so strong. Like we had all did something to them, and they were in our house. And it was the audacity of it. They had an attitude with us. And then her children, I told y'all, children be letting you know how their parents really feel about you. Them children, the girl Jocelyn that was my age, and her sister, I forget her sister's name. She was my sister's age. But we all girls playing together when we were friends, but now we're arch enemies now because they needed a place to stay. And these girls will walk around us and they say stuff like, they say, well, we finna get a bigger house than y'all, and it's way better than y'all house. That lady stacked up on my parents and didn't give them nothing but 2 years. And then had the nerve to invite us to their home when they got it. And it was a big old beautiful house in Claremont, California. Gorgeous house. But she didn't give my mother a dime. And my mom and dad took us over there to visit their house. Because I don't know, for whatever reason, my mama thought this lady was her friend. And we came over there. Wow, this is nice. This is nice. And her daughter, Jocelyn, looked at me and said, yeah, it's way better than y'all house. See? People will step on you to get to where they want to be. And then act like you didn't do nothing for them. Deuce's